Hello, it's Sam with Spieler Custom Baits, and today we're going to be doing another football jig. We're going to be starting off with a 4/0 hook with a 3/8 ounce jig head. This has been powder coated white. We'll tighten this up a little bit. And we're going to be starting off with a 170D thread. Get this in focus real quick. And we're going to start off with some starting wraps. And just take that down to the bait holder and back up to the head of the jig. Snip off our tag end. And with this jig, what we're going to do is we're going to make a blue and white jig with the blue interdispersed within the skirt. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with just a few strands of blue off of a tab, and we're going to put it on one side of the jig. And we're just going to go ahead and loosely tie this in and position it to the side. And we're going to grab ourselves another 3 strands or so off the tab. And we're going to line that on the other side and loosely tie that in as well. Once we get those to where we want them, we're going to tie those in just to lock those in place. Then we're going to grab a tab of this clear with blue flake. And we're going to add this in on top to add a little bit of depth to the jig and lock that in place. Repositioning the skirt where we want it on the back side of the jig. And then we're going to take a white. We're going to lay this down across the top of the jig to add to the top of the jig. So just add a little bit of fullness of body in here. And really just kind of add to the profile. We're going to lock this one in. Then what we're going to do is we're going to grab a little bit of more strands off the tab from our sapphire blue. And we're going to add these in. Layering it in like this gives it a slightly different effect, where it allows the blue to kind of look like it's not just sitting in one spot on that skirt. I'll loosely tie that in. Then we're going to grab a few more strands and do the same to the other side. Just rearranging that as needed and locking that in. And then we're going to finish this off with one more tab of white. Just to give it a really full bodied skirt. Loosely tie that in, kind of rearrange things to where we want it tied in. and then lock that in place. Then we're going to take an alligator clip and clip off the head end just to keep those strands in place before we try to attempt to whip finish this in. Grab our whip finishing tool. We'll whip finish this in twice, trying to get a few reps in there each time. Clip off our thread, and we're gonna seal this with a little bit of head cement. And we're just gonna wipe away the excess to make sure that it doesn't wick up into our skirt. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and grab some wire. On this one I'm using a pretty thin wire. This is a 24 gauge wire in silver. I like to use silver wire on my white jigs just to give it that little bit of reflectivity, but also it doesn't stand out as bad as if you're using black or green. With a thin wire like this, you're going to have to get in multiple wraps. And then we're going to twist this to finish. Clip off that in, and then we're going to push that tag back up against the collar. We're going to undo this alligator clip so that we can clip our skirt. We're going to try to pull all those strands even. And cut off the ends of the tabs. Make sure they're free. And then we're going to do the same with this back end as well. And there we have it. Our finished jig. It's got that nice white profile, a few accents of blue within the middle of it, kind of interdispersed in there. And we're ready to go. Thank you guys for watching.